Hey everybody, welcome back to Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to watch some Witcher Mercury. We got a couple comments today, so let's see what people are saying. We got Delta Halo 241 saying, I don't know how Prospera doesn't top any of these various character polls. She absolutely commands the screen in every scene she's in. Hell yeah, she does.
Well, you know what the answer is? Ageism. Look,
Somebody out
it's
there's like, she's not hot enough.
maybe. Um, well, she's also not in like a relationship that's pushed to the edges of society, which also is something that makes you go
Mhm.
higher in a chart. But I mean, not just the fact that she's like competing against the characters in the show, but also other shows, right? So if you have your one shot, are you not going to take Soletta or Mjorn? Or are you you're gonna throw your vote away on the character you're not sure that anybody else is actually voting for?
So what you're saying is it should have been her husband instead of Aerie inside of the data storm, and then she could be dating an AI construct of her husband.
So the moment that you said it should have been her husband, I just suddenly went to the wrong kid dad.
All right. Up next, we got Jimmy, the GBO2 says she is not talking to the ceiling. She is hoping to hold Aerie again because she was losing her when she was still a young age. Yeah, no, that's definitely the symbolism of it. You got it right.
Yep, so much like Griff to enter into a somber comment while laughing and then never stopping.
I'm sorry because it's still funny to me. We had fun making fun of it just because like yeah no at this point you're a little crazy, but no, symbolically it's like yes she is reaching out for Aerie.
When we were making fun of the villain monologue scene. I
Mm.
wasn't laughing because I thought she was trying to hold her dead daughter in her arms. I am ever haunted by a Lifetime original movie I don't know the name of, but
Uh-huh.
basically the whole family is like dying of cancer or
Oh
some
geez.
disease. I always put it in my head because I saw it when I was young.
Yeah.
I always put it in my head that it was cancer. But they're all dying of something, like literally one after another. And the one scene that haunts me is literally the mother. God, I can't remember the song she's singing, but she's holding the baby. It's just died, and she's singing the song to it that she sang to it to stop it from crying all the time when it was, just born. It's one of those classics too. I mean,
Jeez, that's so dark.
not a classical song, but one of those classic songs that you sing to kids that like nobody in the modern age knows anymore. But if you grew up
Hmm.
in the early 1900s, say 1960s, so like what boomers, baby boomers, would
Yeah.
sing to children.
Okay.
Sunshine, it's sunshine. You
There you
are
go.
my sunshine. So it's doubly depressing because it's the song is representative of what the mother herself has lost, but it's also reflected back of I sang this to you in happier times.
Yeah,
So,
that movie sounds like it wins the How to Engineer a Heartbreak award right here.
well, that's the classic Lifetime. That's the old joke. Beaten by a Rod, a Lifetime original movie. It's there's never Lifetime celebrates women, but it never actually celebrates them, right? It celebrates how they've been abused. It's a
Oh god.
horrible network idea, but it's
Look,
very
I'll stick to my
depressing.
Hallmark movies where an overworked woman falls in love with a guy without a job who's kind of funny.
Hallmark original was the God, what's his name? Colonel Sanders. The Colonel Sanders was a Hallmark original movie. Literally, the one where Colonel Sanders falls in love with somebody,
Well,
but it's a joke movie because he's played by what's the football guy from Saved by the Bell? Mario Lopez.
I don't know that one actually.
I think it's Mario Lopez. He's played by Mario Lopez dressed as an old man.
Comment down below if you'd like us to react to Hallmark movies.
I'd throw it out here just as a quick 30-second thing. I have always thought it's
Mhm.
surprising to me, given how many of them there are out there and how long they've lasted, some of them, that there isn't a reaction channel for daytime soap operas.
I guess just the wrong market.
I don't know, because there's a lot of older people that are getting into the internet and everything. Plus, they're still making them. There's still people out there watching daytime soaps. Can you imagine going back to watch 1960s, 70s programming for daytime soaps and then following it on through?
It'd be like it's brand news. There you go. So, hit us up on our second channel where we do exactly that.
Soap-faced reactions.
Soap-based reactions. There you go. Up next, of course, we have Lee Hongjun, who says, I would like to hear your opinion about why did Eri allow number 4 access to the gun format without any resistance or deny access to it? I think he's asking a hypothetical, correct?
Well, it has to be hypothetical because no one's literally said anything about it yet. It's actually also in my Theta Thoughts section, so I figured, well, let's hear what your thoughts are first, and then we can use it as a segue into Theta Thoughts.
Okay, so to segue into Theta Thoughts, I think my hypothetical answer to the hypothetical question here is, I think in the right mindset, foreign Eri might talk a little bit if Eri realizes that number 4 is someone that Suletta is trying to be nice to. Maybe he might not just like get completely mind blasted and ejected. But probably would not get very much access to anything. Not unless it was a danger scenario, which the fan story here of number 4 getting into the aerial to save Suletta would be a fun thing to read. What are your thoughts?
Well, my original prompt that I had written was Eri liked Elin 4 enough to let him pilot her around, but burned Elin 5 when he tried to steal her. That was my prompt before we had a comment for it.
Yeah.
Okay, two sides to this coin. One emotional, one technical.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with the technical side best because I'm not an emotional guy, so it's easier for me to get through. Elin 4 was only testing the aerial to see if it was like the Faract, right? That it used the same thing that'll burn you out. So he was, for the most part, not using his permit score shit. He was just literally controlling it. And then when he turned his stuff on, his personal permit score stuff, he found that he didn't need it to control aerial. So it's entirely possible he never connected to aerial. That's why Eri never showed up, because you'll realize during the fight later on with Elin 4, that's when they connected, and that's when he sees Eri. But all we see him do is activate his permit score independently of connecting to aerial, so it's entirely possible they literally just never communicated at all. Otherwise, Eri might have done it. That is the technical side, which now that I think about it and spoke it all out loud, probably true. The emotional side is that Elin 4 actually came to Suletta when she was crying and alone and gave her food and wanted to talk to her about stuff. And then Suletta became interested in him and wanted to know stuff about him. And it's entirely possible then that Suletta told Ariel about all that, vis-a-vis then, meaning that she told Eri about it, which means that Suletta's interested. I'm not going to ruin Suletta's friendships with people. I'm just going to let Elin 4 do what Elin 4 is going to do.
Right. And I guess it's definitely, I think we both also have like a completely unsaid assumption that Eri would immediately know the difference between number 4 and 5.
Well, I mean, if my technical side of the coin is true, wouldn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
If my technical side of the coin is true, she's never connected to Elin 4 before, in which case it's not even a thing.
I'm also connecting something in my head now that you gave me that Lifetime movie moment of holding the dead child. I'm imagining sometime we get a backstory scene of Prospera holding Eri as Eri literally disintegrates into permit or something.
We got
Like
episodes.
when the drama heightens to its maximum, Prospera goes, "Why do you think I'm doing this?" And we get that hit.
I don't know. That actually seems more heavy-handed than most of the show has been so far.
True. It
We
would
like
be
to
maybe slightly out of character.
we like to bury shit around here that we have to suppose because
We like
it's
to bury shit like our dead babies.
this shit. Well, no, we didn't bury her. She's in a global suit. See, that's why you're the monster. Anyway, my point was that the show is like the mystery box for a monster movie, right? So the scariest monster is the one that you never see. So the mystery is the one that's never directly told to us, so that we are parsing it out and we're coming up with more layered shit than they could probably satisfy us with. So that's why it's better the way that they're doing it, rather than being so heavy-handed. So I guess moving on to the rest of Theta's thoughts.
Yeah, what else you got in Theta thoughts?
The start of this section is actually just picking up on stuff that was written in the background or said during the episode that was easy to miss. Specifically, starting with the news reports. 12 dead in the school attack, many injured. So, we only saw one person die. A lot of people died and got injured. The Dawn of Fold put pressure on the Space Assembly League, formed to resolve disputes, according to their announcements at the school. 32 killed in an anti-Spacian demonstration in North Africa.
Ooh.
Let's see. Teenage casualties as Spacian security forces clash with anti-Spacian group. Benner Group security mobile suits open fire to break up anti-Spacian protests. Assumedly, that is the episode where Ghoul comes back to us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the news, false newsifying it. The people that are the terrorist organization that's retreating with a bunch of civilians are just anti-Spacian protests in the news cycle.
I think it's fair to say Earth is not okay, even so.
Space front economy suffers new blow from anti-Spacian terrorism. Rising anti-Spacian terrorism risks interplanetary war.
Ooh.
That was the news segment. That's what was in the news. The rest of these are thoughts or prompts for further thoughts or discussion.
Okay.
I love that Mjorn's reaction to Suletta revealing that if her mother told her to kill was to immediately confront Prospera. She sees a problem that cannot be solved by talking to Suletta and goes right to the source, no matter what state it leaves Suletta in.
Mjorn is definitely a character of action here in that moment.
Well, it's literally, he's like talking to, like you talking to me sometimes, right? It's like, okay, I'm not getting anywhere, let's move on. Let's move on to something else that'll get me somewhere.
You could bash your head against the brick wall for a while, or you could solve the problem.
When Suletta talks to Ariel, she sometimes says, everyone. Elin 5 says, who are you people? So I think the concept of 11 to 12 Aries is basically confirmed.
I still want more evidence myself, is I think what I'm going to go with there.
Well, look, if I just kept calling people plural all the time, and you only saw one person, maybe that would be weird. But we've seen multiple Aries multiple times, and these people keep using plurals for them, so...
Right. So there's something going on there. I just have no idea what yet.
I feel like
Is this the baby sacrifice machine? Is it?
I feel like if you were to describe this to someone who hasn't seen the show, they would think you're the stupid one. I need more evidence. And then here comes me on the side, telling them that, we've seen multiples of them, by the way, and 2 people directly connected to them have said them in plural. But why does he say he needs more evidence?
Let me go ahead and rephrase. I want to know what the hell's going on.
Alright. Aerie is a killer by default. Suletta still has to be nudged into it. Eri has the power to kill anyone with a permit link, as she did with Sophie. The scene where Sophie sees Eri is the same as the scene where Elin 5 sees Eri. They both get their scores increased to a point where it hurts them physically. For Elin 5, it was a warning to leave, but for Sophie, it was mid-battle, and Suletta was screaming for her to stop.
Yeah. Eri, just wants to put out the pretty lights.
Well, the point is that Eri just her default is, fuck it, you're dead. Because literally anyone with a permit score, normally you got a permit score 3, like Nadim did, and you just fucking die. These people are getting their scores increased up to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. Because we know from Prospera said, Eri can go push you to 6. If 3 kills you, what does the fucking 6 do to you?
Oh, yeah. I want you to imagine like a horror scenario, right? You have a single child, they're at the end of a hallway, and they're holding a knife. That's already a little spooky. But now imagine the kid can also just, psychically turn on the pain machine built inside of you to its maximum. Yeah, no, Eri's a scary kid.
Well, I mean, Eri is, what was that? What's that joke horror movie, Michelle? Deathbed? The bed that kills?
Oh, God. That just sounds goofy.
Well, that's the point, right? But, it's like that other horror movie, Tire, and it's just a rolling tire that bounces and kills people. But the point is that you have to get in the bed, like the same way you have to get in to Ariel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the point being is that if she don't want you in the bed, she'll just fucking kill you.
What else we got in Theta thoughts here?
The ending song of the season might well be full of hints. I think, despite Suletta being front and center in the ending visual, the song is being sung from the perspective of Mjorn. Some quotes. Can I protect you beyond my wounded wishes at the end of the world? I notice my colorless self and tighten up. I can see my red sense of beauty looks so beautiful. It pierced through the vague justice. I think in that one, obviously, Mjorn with the white hair and a pale skin is the, colorless one, and the red sense of beauty is obviously our tomato. The cells dance in the 12. Like a previous thing I had mentioned.
I wonder what that could be.
And the dream is screaming. The cyborg's eye controls your colorless self. I have the colors that won't make you sad.
Yeah, that's not very specific overall, but I think we both get the vibe of all that, right?
I mean, the cells dance in the 12, 12 being the exact number of Aries that at least half of us think exist. So, the dream is screaming. Maybe that's the data storm. The cyborg's eye controls your colorless self. Maybe that's Quiet Zero, very much in control of Mjorn right now, and the way Prospera's holding it over her. I have the colors that won't make you sad. Space hippies exist? I don't know. That one's a mystery to me. Maybe red is the color that won't make you sad, Suletta.
We'll find out. And is that all of your thoughts there?
No. The messages on Mjorn's phone were literally 3 a day, as Mjorn asked for from Suletta. And beyond the good morning messages, they were also her doing the things Mjorn asked her to do in episode 11. And the last thing I've got here are just the Astasia message board on Cecilia's handbook. Same board Ogello is looking at in the Earthian hangar. This is what happens when you let Earthians in the school. We don't need Earthians at Astasia. I can't bear to sit in a mobile sit cockpit anymore. I'm a head out. Earthians should be sent back to Earth. Gundam Inc. must be responsible for this attack. If only Mr. Ghoul was here. Astasia is over. Some of these are full caps, by the way, so I'm really having a time.
Yeah.
Did the Mercurian girl save us all?
I just love how in the middle of the hate thread, someone just like, I'm signing off for the night, guys. See you.
Well, as you see, I'm gonna head out. Well, no, you remember, a bunch of parents were pulling their kids from the school. So,
Right.
that was a conversation that was had.
All right. So that's all the message boards, all the phone texts, right? We got anything else on our list?
Well, that's basically it. I think the biggest thing from all of that was literally the ending song, because it seems to paint a picture of what's going to happen, especially because if you think it's sung from Yorn's perspective.
Right. And now I'm just kind of looking at a note I had here from last time, which I think you reminded me I should write down. So
The
maybe I should go
rarely
ahead.
seen Griffin thoughts.
Griffin thoughts: when my two brain cells collide and produce the slightest amount of energy. I'm going to go ahead and just read verbatim for what I had here, and let's just see how it pans out to what we know and what maybe we forgot to say last time. Airy exists as permit particles, which can only exist as a thing in aerial and not in physical space, where she'll disintegrate. Quiet Zero is going to expand the data storm that Airy exists in to a wider area so that she can be anywhere else.
Well, the first part is technically not true. Permit can exist everywhere. It's literally anytime you see anybody light up, like when the Gundams light up, when a person, like I guess not Sophie anymore, but Noria and Elin 5, when they light up, the thing that's lighting up is the permit in their bodies.
Yeah.
So permit can exist by itself. I mean, it's a mind material.
I would
in
assume
Mercury.
it is something like a liquid or a gas, or
No,
I guess
it's
if
a solid.
it's particles.
It's a solid. We know it's bind on Mercury. You don't.
Yeah.
I think it's called something else when you. It's extraction when you pull a gas from beneath the surface.
Yeah.
I think it's pumping when you do liquid.
I think the more evidence that I have is that Prospera literally says something to the tune of she will disintegrate or turn to dust or something if she were to leave the aerial.
No. She says she was disintegrating when she was dying. When she was still physical Airy, baby Airy, 4-year-old Airy, toddler Airy. When she was still toddler Airy. I'm going with toddler. I like my Aries the same way I like my Jesus, toddler. Anyway, I think she was saying that about dying Airy, not Data Storm Airy. Data Storm Airy is Data Storm. I think the obvious implication is that she exists in the data chips, which is to say, my baby's in the permit score. You know,
I think we know what the data storm is. Like, we've seen the bubble of blue. There is apparently a real field of something which allows permit to exist, quote, in air here, right?
Well, no, that's like an EMP field that's being represented. That's being extended from air. I think that's just a visual for us, the viewer. Because again, Airy exists in aerial, and if she's just the permit score, it's literally like saying, I made Griffin to computer chips when I pointed at my my CPU tower. What I'm saying is that you exist in the, in the lines on that shit.
Maybe it could stand to be more specific, but I think, like I have here in the second half, I think it probably gives us a better idea of what Quiet Zero is specifically going to do, which is we will get that big blue EMP field effect. That will be the data storm, and there will be people who will probably be turned into permit data artifacts similar to Airy.
Well, I think the argument I'm going for here, that I'm saying it's visual just for us, the viewer, and not a representative of what's going on in the world, is the same events that happen are also the same events that we see all the gun bits turn into little Aries, right? No one else sees that except for people that are in the permit, right? So it's not representative of what everybody sees. I'm sure Suletta might see it because she's weird and connected. But like Cecilia or Shadiq, who are watching the fight happen, don't see the Aries.
Mm-hmm.
They recognize that something is happening when, like, the Faract shuts down and shit like that. Because they're used to it.
And this is where, like, when I say things like, I want to see more evidence, I mean, like, things like this, where I go, okay, so we have, like, we're not even a disagreement. It's like, we are confused about what is necessarily real or not here, and we need more specifics in order to come to a true conclusion here, to know the truth.
We are very much on the opposite sides of thinking. Not even about the issue at hand. You need more evidence to confirm it's true. I would need more evidence to prove me wrong, right? I'm working with the best extrapolation of what the evidence I have to come up. I'm working with a hypothesis, as some would say. Now, I need that hypothesis to be proven wrong. Otherwise, it's a working hypothesis. You, on the other hand, have not come up with a hypothesis. You need more evidence to form one that you think would be strong enough to say out loud.
Right. You got more confidence, whatever you're thinking, than I do. That's for sure.
Well, I'm like a ball rolling downhill. All the bits of moss that attach to that ball add to the hypothesis. And like most good science, I can change my theory as it goes. I'd rather have a working theory that I can change than not have anything at all and just be questioning it all the time. I would leave me in a delirious state if I was just built nothing.
I think the last little hypothetical thing I'd probably want to leave off on is, now I'm expecting Prospero to pull out the disintegrator ray or something. Just point and click and turn someone into permit.
Well, I don't know, because remember we went through the whole Cardo Nebo was step 1. Vilda from the manga is step 2. And then what Prospera did at some point between the prologue and episode 1 is our final step before Quiet Zero. And that we're all working towards this, because we even got that quote in, what is it, episode 13 or 14, that what Balmara was doing with the Elans was totally against what Cardo wanted. It wasn't the same path. Like, I think what we think the evolution towards futures in space with humans is what Balmora was doing, which is more closer to the pictures in the background of before Ricardo gets shot. And we think that's supposed to be what's happening, and Cardo was like, no, this isn't right, this is a failed path. We have to digitize ourselves. We're the digidestined.
So I think on that thought, let's just go ahead and quickly go over what happened last time, and I think let's go ahead and get into it, unless we got anything we want to cover from last time here. So
THETA'S thoughts, section 2.
Section
subparagraph 3.
Revengeance. Last episode was Cycles of Sin, where Prospera claims that Eric's mind, she turned Eric's mind into data to protect her from danger and intends to unbind her from Ariel using Quiet Zero, blackmailing Balmora into joining.
Wait, go back. Read that again.
Prospera claims that she turned Eric's mind into data to protect her from danger and intends to unbind her from Ariel using Quiet Zero.
That is a bit that I did not pick up. Not the whole data thing. Did anything understood? The unbinding her from Ariel using Quiet Zero.
Yeah, that was my suspicion. Or at least, that was my read of it. So right, I think maybe I hit closer.
It is just the motivation did not pick up for me. That's where again though, as we've said before, these things are written by people like us who don't have all the information either, so.
True. So, blackmailing Balmora into joining, with Delling in a coma and Sarius missing, the Bennett group opts to hold an election for a new president, which Shadiq intends to win, while Ghoul makes it back to his family and assumes ownership of his father's company.
Wasn't actually said yet.
It wasn't specifically said, but Ghoul made every intention of saying, I'm going to take care of everything.
Literally, Laudna is still in control. Ghoul just walked off and said, I'll take care of it. Well, here's my problem. They said, officially takes over the company, right? Is that what it says? Yeah, that didn't happen.
Assumes ownership.
Yeah, well, that didn't happen either. He literally says, walked away and said, I'll take care of everything. I feel like maybe they've watched this episode and things happen here that they're They're backtracing.
Meanwhile, Dawn of Fold's recent attacks and the subsequent crackdowns have worsened Earthian and Spatian relationships, prompting the Space Assembly League to step up their investigation into the Bennett group. At Astasia, Earth House faces amplified discrimination following the attack, while Nika remains in the Grassley House's custody, turning down an offer to join them. At the same time, Elin is ordered to steal the Ariel, but Eric violently rejects him. Mjorn also returns to Astasia and confronts Suletta about the events at Plant Kita, becoming disturbed by her willingness to do anything her mother says. She then confronts Prospera about this, but is silenced when the latter reveals that Delling killed her colleagues and husband. Prospera then guilt trips Mjorn into joining Quiet Zero, instructing her to win the upcoming election.
I want to say, by the way, from the point that we record this, there is like a specific, very tiny amount of time that I'm able to delve back into the community and see what people are talking about, because almost immediately the next episode is released, so I can't get any spoilers. So it's like, alright, let's see what you're doing, backing out again. So, one thing somebody said was that Prosper's helmet has the recordings of everyone dying in it, and it's what she says literally about hearing them all the time is actually happening.
Oh my gosh, he's crazy.
That I can hear them all the time. Well, I mean, it's like, why else is she fucking wearing the helmet?
Must stay motivated for revenge.
Yeah, I can hear them in my ears all the time.
I guess then, thematically, it's interesting that she takes off the helmet to speak to Suletta. Usually while on the phone, but I mean, it's interesting to see, like, okay, if that were true, then, it makes every time she puts it on versus off a different emotional tone that she's going for.
He talking about
different mindset.
She smiles, cries, and is happy with the thing on, too. You don't remember, I'm so proud of my daughter, slight tear, helmet on. It's like, what? I mean, I'm not saying it can't be true. I'm just saying that I'm not claiming this theory as mine. I read it from somebody else.
I do like it, though. Go ahead and save that one for a story sometime.
I mean, I think I already joked about there's being something else in her helmet. Not the recordings. I think
bombs is what you're going for.
What's that? No. I said her arm is a bomb. I think her helmet could be a bomb, too. No, I think I said something like someone else's brain is in there or something. Mine was way further off the wall than... I just think Prospera is such a well-rounded character that it would be insane for her, like, for the helmet to fall off and everyone starts hearing screaming noises or Happy Birthday sung by Nadim or some crazy shit.
Oh gosh. I think, though, we have an interesting episode ahead of us because we're getting the Mjorn and Ghoul presidential duel.
Possibly.
The two of them are going to have to face off in some way, and I almost actually expect this to turn into an actual duel challenge where it's Ghoul versus Mjorn.
Well, they shut that down already. There's no point.
They said they're stopping the game of it, but I think they just meant for, like, who's the champ. Because they don't care that Suletta's the best duelist anymore.
Right, well, this falls into two arguments now. One, dueling will not get you Mjorn's hand anymore, is what I recall.
Yes.
And two, this falls back to our Yashura amusement park conversation of, are the duels legally binding outside of the school? And I would say probably not. Also, I mean, also.
In this universe, we do card games to decide society.
No, we don't have any more motorcycles. We have both Vespas, apparently. But no. Also, the only body that is making the duels even anywhere close to legal is the Bennett group, which, as we've discussed in Venada's Heart, God, I love being able to call back to other media. As we discussed in Venada's Heart, might not be the only super corporation with legal authority to determine these things. If we think that Roleplay might be another one that is also, by the way, in space.
Right. So we got more stuff to go over there. But is there anything specifically left on your mind from last time we want to go over before we get started?
No, I want to watch this episode.
Then in that case, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. So support channel just a little bit extra.
約束してくれる？次の総裁になるって。無理よ。私が総裁なんか。あら、さっきはスレッタを思い通りにさせないなんて言ったのに、もう諦めちゃうの？ふざけんな！引き継いでやるわよ。クワイエットゼロ。よかった。お父様もきっと喜ぶわ。
Stop being happy with everything I say.
All according to the plan.
スレッタとエアリアルには決闘させてほしいの。もう一回？そう、これが最後。その後はあなたの好きにすればいいわ。でもあの子、おとなしくエアリアルを降りてくれるかしら。
Wait. Give up Ariel. We give up Ariel.
Bjorn doesn't want Suletta fighting anymore, so that would mean separating from Ariel, right?
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
Because
also, what did you do? Pre-watch this, Griff? How do you know that she's gonna fight Ghoul?
what else is going to happen?
That's why I just said that doesn't make any sense because the duels have no meaning. The duels are basically just for the kids now. Duels are for kids.
And they are. Oh gosh, they have her dead, but they're just happy in the opening. Oh no.
Yes, Sophie. No, I've already mentioned how extremely sad Sophie is.
I know, it just hammer it home further.
How about the fact that Delling has turned camera every opening so far, been in a coma from the beginning.
He's gonna come back at the very end and just be like, I have the ultimate mobile suit.
Reports of my death have been highly exaggerated. You can't take the presidency from me.
Now, will Suletta kill Ghoul?
She hasn't killed anybody yet.
She has before.
No, this is the whole argument thing. When your gun is intelligent, you haven't killed anybody.
It was all just a dream.
Must mean all of Earth House is back.
Yeah, I think last time they said that they were cleared of any charges.
And this really is going to be coming down to Mjorn versus Prospera v. Suletta. I mean, in fairness though, Ariel literally is Suletta's family. It's not like hyperbole or anything.
They're setting up for the saddest birthday party ever.
Second saddest.
次の総裁選、私はグラスレーを代表して立候補するつもりです。
Oh yeah, of course Shadiq's in the running. It's a plan.
気の早い話ね。見返りは？
グループの新規機関事業にガンダムを擁立します。
ガンダムを？
株式会社ガンダムも譲渡します。協約の裏でファラクトを開発していた。
You can't do that.
悪い話ではないでしょう。
He can do whatever he wants. He's the president.
ペール社は実を取ればいい。
サリウスの意向は？
Yeah, but Gundam is a subgroup. It's not even part of the Bennett.
評議会も黙ってはいないわ。
矢面には私が立ちます。
I mean, I know it's part of Bennett. I mean, it's not.
大口ですから。それにガンダムのモビルスーツ事業参画はあなたたちの一番望むところではありませんか。
サリウスは戻ってこない。
They get
そうい
it.
うことね。
Of course, the Peel group is just like totally down for this.
ミオリネエロンさん、
お願いがあるんだ。
Don't come in here.
ここはミオリネさんの。
エアリアルを僕にくれないか。
エアリアルを。
頼むよ。助けると思ってさ。
嫌です。
どうして僕の
The vibes of the scene. Oh god.
The only men that aren't technicians that walk into this room are horrible people.
Well, you're right about that.
Imagine who was in this exact position before.
ここにはいないよ。
Ghoul holding a stick above her, Bjorn.
He just gave the game away too.
エラン、こいつに何をしている？
Oh, wow. I think me saying that also represented the full turn to Ghoul right now.
お前のことはずっとよくわからんやつだと思っていたが、何に怯えてるんだ？
女の子の前だからって格好つけるなよ。
Break his arm.
The most like Master Elin, by the way.
ここを壊したら謝るところじゃ済まなくなる。
ありがとうございました。学校辞めたって。
ラウダが父さんに黙って退学届を止めてくれていた。だから
So I've just been missing classes for a long time.
Look, his GPA is in the garbage right now.
大丈夫だ。俺には今目標がある。ジェターク社を立て直したいんだ。あそこだけが俺と父さんのつながりだから。うちの状況は聞いているか？
はい、大変だって。
ラウダと話して代表を引き継ぐことにした。会社は今窮地だ。俺たちで何とかしないと。大切なものはもうなくしたくないんだ。
Title the episode.
復学の手続きが終わったらまた会社に戻る。その前にもう一度学園に来たかった。ジェターク寮の奴らにも謝りたかったしな。
どうして私なんかに話を？
進めば2つ。俺は
It's
進
infecting
むことがどれだけ
everyone.
怖いかやっと分かった。怖いから父さんからずっと逃げてたんだって。
Hidden wisdom from Bjorn as well.
お前に教えられた。
そんな、私何も。でも、ちょっと嬉しいです。私も大好きな。
Ah, the slow beat Astasia theme.
お前のそんなところが俺は好きになったのかもな。
前は全然好きじゃないって。
あれはなんというか恥ずかしくて。
全然わかんないです。
なんでだよ。わかる
Cool
よ。
just admitting he's tsundere, that's all.
じゃあもう一度言う。俺はお前に感謝している。大切なんだ。
ありがとうございます。でも、
Gosh, just all the nervous hand movements.
私にも今大切な人がいるんです。
そうか。そう言える相手がいるのはいいな。
はい。スレッタ、ミオリネさん。これは違くて。決めたわ。誕生日に欲しいもの。グエルと決闘しなさい。
Ah, come on!
Ah, there it is.
Don't be Ghoul again. Man's been through so
どういうこ
much.
とだ説明しろミオリネ。俺はもう決闘はしない。
提案があるの。私はベネリットグループの総裁に立候補する。あんたとジェターク社は後ろ盾になってほしい。
ちょっと待て、話が読めん。
会社立て直したいんでしょ。私があんたの婚約者になる。そうすればグループとしてジェターク社を全面的にバックアップするわ。
俺に決闘で勝てってことか。
あんたと同じよ。私もなくしたくないの。大切なもの。
Rigging the duel on both sides.
グエルジェターク。
I mean, it's hard for Ghoul to win.
花嫁を取り戻して。
They say that the quality of the machine doesn't matter at all, but that's a lie.
魂の代償をリーブラに。決闘者はスレッタ・マーキュリーとグエル・ジェターク。場所は戦術試験区域13番。個人戦を採用。異論はないですか？
はい。
ああ、
先輩、退学してなかったんすね。負け犬記録更新しちゃっていいんですか？
ジェタークのエンブレムは獅子だ。犬じゃなくて獅子にしてくれ。
Yeah, a bitch.
Just not taking any of it. Also, I love how this person just holding a Haro to do the duel. They don't know what to do.
止めてもらえませんか？
嫌がら
Oh, they know. He just always has the Haru.
地球寮の
Maybe they're just very shy.
犯人扱
They
い
are.
されてて、ジェターク寮の人たちが味方になってくれたらって。
了承しよう。
グエル・ジェターク、あなたは決闘に何をかけますか？
俺が勝ったらエアリアルをもらい受ける。
ちょっと待ってください。どうしてクエルさんがエアリアルを？構わないわ。ミオリネさん、あんたが勝てばいいのよ。できるでしょ？はい。
You wouldn't let me take it from you directly, so here's my underhanded way of taking her from you.
ごめん。
何がだ？
スレッタのこと本気で好きだったんでしょ？
気持ちは伝えたさ。それに今はもっと大切なものがある。
Just increasingly tragic.
それより本当なのか？あいつの母親の話。
本当よ。スレッタは母親の言うことに何の疑問も持たない。
Okay, Ghoul's in on this now. He's a main character again, fully.
エアリアルで決闘させることが目的。あの子には幸せになってほしいの。ガンダムとか何にも縛られない世界で。
そんな世界はないよ。
え？
一つ頼みがある。
何よ？
ハサミとバリカンを貸してくれ。
It's funny how we're also going like full circle now, right? We need a world without Gundams back again.
God, it just...
ミオリネ先輩もいませんね。ごめんね。仕事の予定早まっちゃって。平気だよ。
Got more conspiracies to do.
ミオリネさんが勝利のお守りにって。しっかりね。
Oh, she's not gonna sabotage her mid-fight, is she?
こっちの準備はできた。本当にいいの？あの子張り切ってたけど。あんたがそれ言う？その時が来たら合図を送るわ。楽しみに待ってなさい。
Yeah, so I'm right.
Just all the drama is perfectly interrelated.
だいぶ傷んでたからな。似合わないか？
グエル。 できる限りの最適化をしたが、あの AI。
Okay, so the best suit he ever had before.
使ってくれ。
いいのか？
プライドだけじゃスレッタ・マーキュリーには勝てないさ。
なんで教えてくんなかったんだよ。
The one that almost stood up to Ariel.
Yeah.
で、どこまで行ったの？
So how far can he go knowing it's the AI and actually working with it?
どうして謝るのさ。
兄らしいこと何もできていなかった。
Yeah, we're full circle again. I love it.
初めて会った時にも言っただろ。
Gosh, all this cheerful, triumphant music just for everything to come crashing down later. I can't wait.
Well, I hate that they're about to cheat. Because we're never gonna see if Ghoul could ever actually beat Ariel now.
I mean, we already got that answer before, honestly.
No, we
I don't think he's
didn't.
gotten...
This is a fully realized ghoul instead of a instead of Pride Ghoul from season 1.
I don't know, we got traumatized cool that cockpit right now.
No, he's really achieving full actualization as a character.
立会人はブリオン領のセセリア・ドートが担当します。
決闘最後だってグエルだ。
始まるよ。いいの？
戦うのはもう見たくない。
帰ってきて早々血の気多すぎでしょ。グエル君は変わんないな。
いや、彼の目的はおそらく
ジェターク社の再建。
I do like how Shiddiq looked concerned.
Yeah, he's realizing he's about to have an actual competitor. No matter what the outcome of this is.
And the best Delanzia Jitter company has ever made. I need somewhere to hide so they don't kill me. This is where everyone that's hiding that doesn't want to be killed is, right?
I know where the others got liquidated at.
気づいちゃったんだよね。ガンダムとグラスレーはグルなんじゃないかって。で、釜をかけてみたら大正解。僕もペイルにいられなくなっちゃったし、かくまわれる者同士仲良くしようよ。
Immediately tries to kill him.
ガンダムに乗ってさっさと死んだらどうですか？
僕は長生きがしたいのさ。君に殺されるのもガンダムで死ぬのもごめんだね。
ガンダム死ぬ？
両者交換。
Oh gosh, Nina's gonna learn too much.
I'm gonna have to go back and double check those scores.
ただ結果のみが真実です。フィックスリリース。
兄さん、分かっている。まずは距離を詰める。
But you already melted some of it off anyway. Come on, man, push through, push through!
He's choking, come on, man.
グエルのやつおかしくね？なんで撃たないんだよ。私だってわかんないよ。
どうしたんだ兄さん、トラブルなのか？問題ない。すぐに立て直す。
デリングの娘、喜んでたわ。ありがとう、ベル。いいえ。
What did you do?
Oh gosh, no, what did they do?
Now that Balmora's on it, it's like, what did they do?
He's gonna send like a message at the last second to Ghoul of like the moment his father died or something.
Oh, thank God, I thought she was about to do the giant beam. It's like, no, not in here.
Hey, there we go.
Well, if he's thinking about the last moment, that's where he killed his dad and everything came through, so...
Here we go, drone v drone.
Well, yeah, but one drone is a shield and the other one's literally just all swords.
Oh gosh, we got the code Geass slash Harkins now. Alright, let's test some theories of yours, Theta.
Which theory?
Oh, never mind. Well, there's a big blue bubble here.
Yeah, but Ghoul doesn't have permit, so he should be fine.
It'd still take over the drones.
I connect it to Happy Birthday. Don't do the giant gun in here! Stop being so sad.
Oh, that's what they did. Rigged.
$28 and 2.
Yeah, absolutely everybody's startled by this outcome.
どうしよう、エアリアル。ミオリネさんの誕生日なのに、私勝ちますって約束したのに。ミオリネさん、ミオリネ先輩。
I don't know if she's gonna throw the thing in.
私、エアリアル、突然。
Here, take back the symbol of our love.
知ってる。だって私がやったから。
Oh, she just went out and said it, okay.
どうしてあんたに負けてほしかったからよ。嘘。最初に言ったでしょ。これは取引だって。あんたはいい玉よけになってくれたわ。
Oh, she did.
もっとも負けちゃったら責任も果たせないけど。待ってください。クエルさん、もう一度検討してください。今度は私負けませんから。だからこれも返してもらうわ。今日までご苦労様。
The universe could just do that?
Fucking episode 1, Griff. Pay attention. Try to keep up with the emotion. Damn it! You always have to hit me with something stupid right at the highest bit.
Oh, my country bumpkin, though. Miard, you could at least have, like, a slightly softer hand about all this. But no, she just goes straight in with the hammer, crushes Suletta entirely. Watching for changes, Theta.
No, it's just, I don't know where to go. It's sad. It's just so sad.
It is. Everything was building up to tragedy for this episode.
I mean, it's the... This is... God, I don't know. You ever watched ReZero?
I don't think so.
There's a character there who basically says how their entire life another person would go if they were to run off together. And whole plan, like, this is what I've thought about every day, and this is something I know we can never actually do, because this is not the person that you are, the person that I believe in, the person that makes me think about wanting to do these things. So it's just like, this is how the wedding would be, this is the dress and the ring, and then the stab right in the heart. It's just... Well, hold on before you start talking.
次回機動戦士ガンダム水星の魔女空っぽな私たち
And then Ghoul has to go along with it too, because he's got more important things, as he said. So he's hearing her, like, break apart over the radio or whatever, and just has to keep going because he doesn't want to lose everything else that he has.
I mean, also, like, if we consider, like, the way, like, the Move Forward Game 2 has literally infected everyone, this is the arrow that has returned against Suletta here. She has pumped everyone up to move forward, to do whatever it takes to keep doing more things, and now finally that means maybe it's hurt her. Oh god, it is every single bit of this is interrelated tragedy. It is so good.
Well, I feel like none of it would have happened if at the very beginning Sulita had said no. If if she'd said yes, if I told you to get rid of Ariel, would you?
Mhm.
And she says, no, I wouldn't. If she had said yes, I don't think Mjorn would have gone along with everything. Because that would have been the opening that she needed to get through to Suletta,
Mhm.
versus Suletta having to have Ariel taken away from her.
Right. So I think one more thing on my mind here is so exactly what happened with the aerial. So obviously, like, they have the button trigger for, like, I want you to turn it off now. Balmora set it up, apparently. Prospera also got a signal in her helmet, like, around the time the data storm and our hack was happening.
Well, we don't
Did-
know that Balmera set it up. We know Balmera did something, and for all we know, it's something we haven't seen yet. Because there's no indication that Prospera just didn't do that herself. Because why would you ask somebody else to fuck with your actual daughter?
Because she's the engineer.
She's not the engineer of Ariel.
She's the only other Gundam engineer in the entire series.
Yeah, and Prospera is the engineer of Ariel. Literally from prologue to now. So why wouldn't
I mean,
she
why
have
else
done
would
it?
Prospera congratulate her, is my question.
Right, which is what I'm saying. It's entirely possible for something we haven't seen yet.
Mhm. No, I doubt that. I doubt that. X a doubt here.
But well, fortunately, I'm not beholden to what you believe. The same way that you're not beholden to mine. I believe
Understandable.
Balmora has done something else, because none of that falls within her specialty. Balmora isn't a mechanic.
But still,
She deals with Elin, remember?
I
Specifically the enhanced Elins.
do have to wonder what's going on inside the helmet. Maybe it is the screams of her co-workers, and they just go off when the data storm does.
Oh no, it's filled with permit. That's what we just saw.
Oh, right, yeah.
That was the permit lines, the things I kept going on about before in the THETA'S section. No,
So,
sorry, in the GRIFFIN's thoughts section.
right. So, also, Elin 5 has escaped containment here. He is now out on his own, with the Grassley House crew. That's going to be exciting because now Peel maybe wants to get Elin 6 out here, or bring out Master Elin, and one of those two characters is going to be fun to see in comparison to, wait a second, isn't there one hiding in Grassley House?
Well, it's because he failed to get Ariel last episode. His last chance at staying alive with this episode was literally, I've got a taser. Let's see if this does the job. And he failed that, so now he knows they're going to fucking kill me like they did Elin 4. So now he's on the run. Being on the run means that he's also holding Peel Technologies hostage. Because they can't wheel out Master Elin now. Otherwise, they'll have to give away, yeah, we've been doing human experiments all this time. Or they also can't pull out an Elin 6, because you never know where Elin 5 is going to show up. And the fact Elin 5 shows up anywhere while you have a Master Elin or an Elin 6 out means, how are they in both places at the same time? And you're held hostage by it.
Now, that actually just makes Shadik's control over Peel even more secure then, right? Because they already came to a deal. If Shadik realizes that he has, like, an Elin clone with him, he's just gonna go, alright, I'm gonna go ahead and hold them over their head. You just stay happy and secure. You don't gotta do nothing. They can roll out a new one for all I care, but you are my ace in the hole. Just go ahead and just stay hostage forever.
I don't think the situation reads that way. Shadik has no control over that, because basically he's also holding Shadik hostage, if you think about it.
He also doesn't know about it yet, which Elin 5 might actually tell him, which will make things even more funny.
I'm saying he's holding Shadik hostage at the same time, because Elon 5 is just using the safe house.
Yeah.
The fact that he also knows that Noria is there means that he knows there's a connection between Grassley House and the terrorist attack on the school, which means that's information he can use against Shadiq. The fact
Elon
that Nika
5
is also there is
golden
pointless.
handcuffs here. He's got some golden handcuffs. He is making sure he cannot be ejected, but he cannot ever leave again.
Well, he's making himself a target to literally everyone, which means that he can't. He both can't do anything, and most of the people around him can't do anything now.
But also, it's entirely in his personality to fuck around and additionally find out. So we're gonna have some fun here.
Well, he doesn't seem to do much unless he thinks he can get away with it. The only example of the contrary being, well, I guess there's no way he would know that Ghoul was back, so he probably thought he could assault Suletta outside of her mobile suit in a place that nobody else would be. Because there's only Mjorn and Suletta that go to that place. I mean, he didn't pull a gun, he pulled a taser, so...
Yeah, his intention was to get control of Ariel, not assassinate Suletta.
And like I said, that various position, I think, is just like a whole circle in the narrative. Like, the last person that was there, that wasn't like those two technicians that were there to take care of the tomatoes, was Ghoul, who had pushed Mjorn to the floor and was holding a stick over her, like he was about to, beat her with a stick. A Lifetime original. But yeah, and then who comes back in the exact same scene that Elon is now mirroring Ghoul to show you that he has a full circle. He's being a full realized character, as I said before when you were doubting him in the entrance to the duel.
Oh yeah, it was great drama. Just watching him overcome this trauma live and in person with the support of literally everybody else. It's oh hey, look, we have a new main character. Huh?
And also the reveal that Shadiq is now the pro-Gundam businessman, as opposed to his father, as opposed to Delling, who then came back around on Gundams, even despite being the one who destroyed Gundams. It's very roundabout. We're going swings and roundabouts here.
I do gotta say, the more I see Shadiq, in the suit with his hair combed back and everything, more and more gives me, SpongeBob trying to be normal vibes. You know what I'm talking about? Where he's, completely squished down and rounded out. It's yes, I am perfectly normal, I swear. There's nothing weird about me.
Well,
I need all natural Shadiq here.
I knew you were going to make a reference. I was waiting for you to get done before I could jump back in with the actual important shit. Because, I know that we had this discussion before that you didn't remember that Shadiq has been in suit and hair up since episode 2. That
he's been casual.
No, he shadows his father since episode 2. He's in every business meeting wearing a suit with his hair up. You didn't remember that way back when we were discussing it then. When you were right about Shadiq betraying his dad, but because back then I was using those references to show you that Sarius was mentoring Shadiq at the time, which is why every time he's in a business meeting, or every time Sarius is at a business meeting, Shadiq is right there beside him, business suit, hair up. But you never remember those, so it's always a wonder to you every time he's in a business suit with his hair up. It's since episode 2, he's been doing this. This isn't a new thing. It wasn't the party that we first saw him in business attire. Episode 2, when they're having the argument.
Or shirtless Shadiq, okay? That's all I need.
Shadiq has never been shirtless. Not once.
So what else then do you have?
Well, the emotional punch is kind of making me forget about what happened early on in the episode.
Early on was the emotional drama between Mjorn and Suletta.
No, it was a recap of Prosper and Mjorn. That was the very early thing. Yeah, we had the walk upstairs, which I guess is what you're referencing. We had Ghoul's Precious Things speech.
Yeah, the entire setup for him and his motivations for the episode.
Right, well, it's also what he indicates is more precious to him than Suletta. You're a precious thing to me, and you have precious things yourselves. It's a good thing you have things like that you can talk about. But then he also says literally in the same scene, there are more important things to me, which is to hold on to his family.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he was going to apologize to Jetterhouse.
Well, I guess because he's been a jerk in general to them at some point.
He hasn't, though. He's had a whole fan club that he's been wonderful
Or he wants
to.
to apologize for not being there for his fans.
No, if anything, I'd probably maybe stealing 2 of the Gundams. Sorry, 2 of the mobile suits.
Either way, he's the entire point of it, I think, is just to say that he's smoothing things out with everybody, which makes sense. We're now back onto Ghoul in a neutral and positive position. That's all that really needs to be said there.
It's really technically neither of those things, depending on who you are.
Sure.
He's not neutral because he's literally like a pointed gun. He's aimed. So he is, depending on who you are. If you're not Jetterhouse, he's literally your enemy. And he's not positive by that same measure.
Look, he's not living in a tent in the woods anymore. That's what matters here.
Well, I mean, he chose to do that. That was his choice. He
Oh my
wasn't... I mean, he still has all the privileges of Jetterhouse when he was living in a tent, so that was his choice.
Right. Let's see. What else? I do love that Ghoul and Mjorn are now just like in their little conspiracy together. And it gives me hope for like the Ghoul, Mjorn, Suletta, and the girl with the end name, I forgot again. Noria, there. I have hopes for them to just be together, sitting in a room, all happy together at some point.
Why would you want Noria in that?
Oh, no, not Noria. The other one.
Nika?
Nika. That's it.
You're very
Sorry.
confusing when you don't know these people's names.
Look, sometimes I just completely forget things.
You want the terrorist there that's upset that you've killed her best friend from childhood?
Right, no. But I mean Nika.
Weird table.
Because like those 4 characters are like the primary characters of the show, right?
No. Shadiq, Suletta.
For the protagonist. Like that's the team, right?
I mean, you're stating that Nika is more important than Martin.
Yeah.
Martin took a can for Suletta. Nika's been locked in a room for 2 episodes.
But I don't see him being like the core team. You know what I mean? If I'm making a 5-man band here, I don't think Martin's band member number 5.
He's the head of Earthhouse. Everything that Earthhouse does is literally
is band member number 5 here.
He's the head of Earthhouse. Everything Earthhouse does is basically on his say-so. So, you know all those characters that you're saying are main? They listen to Martin. And
Look,
Martin's been stepping up to the plate these days, so don't you be dissing Martin. Martin, who called the cops on Nika, by the way.
Martin's hair is not anime enough. I'm sorry. I just had to say it. We got big
Martin's
redhead Suletta.
Martin's hair
we
is
got
wrapped
gray
up,
hair Mjorn.
Martin's hair is wrapped up in a bandage right now because he took a can for Suletta.
We got pink highlights Ghoul. We got blue haired
they're not highlights. I'm going down on the record saying I don't think they're highlights.
And then of course we have Choo Choo with her huge hair poms.
Pom-poms.
Martin does not stand a chance in this hair game.
It doesn't matter.
He needs to get a L'Oreal sponsorship here. He needs to get the Yu-Gi-Oh look going.
It's very much a Game of Thrones situation. I know there's a lot of shows I've been saying that about.
Yeah.
But I also hate putting people in the category of protagonist, antagonist, villain, hero, because these people have motivations that all make sense. And to say, also, Suletta could well be our villain now, for all we fucking know. Just because she's been a main character. I mean, arguably, there's 2 to 3 main characters at this point. Just because she's been a main character doesn't mean that she's not going to flip out next episode about the emotional trauma she's been through and start whacking heads.
If Suletta goes on a villain arc, I think I would probably be the absolute most surprised out of literally anyone.
I'm just saying shit that might happen. Look, it's Bjorn's birthday, right? The day she could get married. And now, who's the one she could get married to? And that she made a deal to get married to? Ghoul.
It's Ghoul.
Yeah. However, who did she not put, or who did Ghoul not mention in the terms of the dual deal? The Ghoul dual deal. Tongue twisters.
Who? Go ahead, tell me.
Oh, Ghoul didn't mention anything about getting married to anybody, or ownership of Bjorn, or marrying Bjorn. All Ghoul said is the Ariel will be mine. And now Ghoul owns Ariel. So not only is Suletta not getting married to the girl she fell in love with, she's also lost her sister.
Mm-hmm.
She has nothing.
This is Suletta's lowest point so far.
Okay, wait. She doesn't have nothing. She actually has a whole lot. Considering we've seen Ghoul have nothing, we know what nothing actually is. Suletta, by comparison, at her lowest, still has quite a lot.
Oh, yeah. Like, compare it to her lowest last season, where she doesn't think anyone cares or thinks about her, and she's, like, constantly, like, trying to avoid everyone. This is lower than that, for sure.
Well, I'm just saying, Suletta's lowest is that she has no mobile suit, and she lost the woman she loves. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
She still has a ton of friends, and her mother, right? Ghoul, at his lowest, sitting in a bathroom having food shoved into his face after he killed his dad, has no idea if anybody's out there who even cares about him, has no friends, literally actively has people who hate him to his face.
Witnesses the death of a child he tries to save from his captives. It's...
Well, arguably, I would say that was after his lowest point. Lowest point is on the toilet seat having food shoved in his mouth because he's actively trying to starve to death, while actively also saying I was sorry to his dead dad.
But you see, he has something there. Someone cares about his well-being.
No, the act of moving forwards and standing up and trying to rescue someone, I think is higher up than where he was moments before the accident.
Right, true. Oh, gosh, there's so much. Theta, you got any final thoughts you want to get out here?
Ghoul doesn't use permit score, so the Ariel can't kill him actively that way. I mean, obviously it could just pretend to fall over and kill him, but it can't actively like, what happened to Ghoul? He sat in the control chair and died. It can't kill him Elin 5 way. Or Sophie manner.
I think I'm definitely expecting more of the AI Gundams as soon as Ghoul ends up in charge of everything.
And if Ariel doesn't actively know what happened, then the last conversation about Ghoul might have come from Suletta. About, this boy said he's in love with me, and I really liked him too this whole time, but I'm more into Bjorn. In which case, if Ari's still in there, second point comes in a minute. If Ari's still in there, might work with Ghoul. However, the happy birthday to you double cross might actually be Ari being removed from Ariel. Third point. It might be Ari being removed from Ariel, which is why it collapsed, which doesn't make sense, though, to my third point now, because when Ari got turned off before, when the antidote was happening during the duel, the 6-on-6 duel with Shadiq and group, Suletta was still able to control the Gundam itself and fight back.
Yeah, the whole thing shut down.
Yeah, this whole thing shut down completely and fell to the ground like she had lost control completely. So, maybe Ari being removed from Ariel, which might be the Balmora thing. I don't think Balmora set up the turn it off thing. She might have set up the transfer. Because again, Balmora's area of expertise is
Ares in
biologicals.
The helmet,
could be.
That's where all that leads. Ares in the helmet now.
Could be if If part
If
one,
all of the following was true.
yeah, if part 1 of the theory is correct, then part 17 of the theory would be yes, she's in the helmet. Now, if all of the steps between here and there were wrong, then maybe something else.
Right, your pyramid of cards here might just like fall over. We'll just
Well,
have
I
to
think
see.
it's more like a set of dominoes all set in a row, right? If the first domino is incorrect, I mean, it's entirely possible that the first domino was right and the last domino is right, and everything we said in the middle could be still wrong, and it's just a really long first domino to knock over the last one.
Theta, the greatest detective of all, able to jump immediately to conclusions with no evidence whatsoever.
I mean, it's possible, right? Oh no, it's why they make you do it in like mystery video games, right? That you have to find everything before you could declare a killer, because if you could just declare a killer and be right, it fucks up the whole game.
I'm gonna say I tried that in LA Noire and I was wrong every time.
Oh no, I don't mean like, oh god, if the I can't even figure out the LA Noire example. It'd be like if you could figure out the final thing. I guess the better example would be Fallout 3.
Uh-huh.
Just walking over to the thing and finding your dad.
Oh yeah. It's like you already know where he is. What's the mystery?
Yeah. Or Myst, the original Myst. I'm just gonna go into the fireplace and open up get the third book. Yeah,
Spoilers.
that's what I'm saying. That you get the whole 2 books thing because they're all both brothers, and then you have the third book, which is the father, and I can just solve the game in 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Don't have to go through this whole rigmarole mystery brothers fighting thing. It's basically that. You could make a wild guess. I could, for some reason, stick my head in the fireplace and find out the final boss, but it doesn't make sense for me to do that. I could make a guess about what the whole show's about in episode 1 and then be right, but would that be entertaining?
Probably not so much.
I mean,
So
it'd be entertaining to me to be confirmed right every step of the way. But
oh yeah, no, you get all the entertainment value.
I make a wild guess, and literally 24 episodes of tidbits piling up to Griff, I think I'm right.
In that case, I think we'll go ahead and leave off on that with you being right, and of course with next time Suletta being completely broken down. So everybody, this has been Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we will catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?